On a now sunny. It's been raining and thunderstorms all morning, but as I start the podcast here, it's sunny, it's nice. The rain looks like it's done for the day, and it's turned into a beautiful afternoon. It's going to be a little cooler tomorrow, so that's exciting. Welcome on into the bullpen. It's a Bull and Fox edition live every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Dustin, how you doing, man? What's going on?
Adam, I'm doing very well. We got a little bit of rain showers, thunderstorms here this afternoon, but it was much needed after what was some hot and humid days, some smoky days.
Oh yeah,
all that jazz, and here we are.
Yeah, the air's still not great, but it's at least not terrible anymore, which is nice because last week there was a couple days we had the worst weather in the world.
Yeah, it was
the worst air in the world.
It was like 450.
No, it was high. Well, maybe by you. Here it was almost 600 in Rocky River.
Oh, wow.
On like Wednesday and Thursday. Anyway, hopefully that's behind us. And but who the hell knows? But today turning into a beautiful day. And like I said, tomorrow's supposed to be cool. The humidity's really supposed to drop out. Only a high of 70 tomorrow, so that'll be a nice...
Good fat man weather. Yes,
anymore. Indeed. Yes, indeed. It certainly is. And meanwhile, we'll get to the Guardians and we'll get to the Browns, but we continue to obsessively, or at least I do, look at tweets from Shams Charania. Every time I see him tweet about the Lakers signing some random dude or... the Portland Trail Blazers adding a guy on a 2-way contract or something bigger like the Lou Dort trade with the Hawks in a 3-way deal. I keep wondering, when is he going to break the news? I assume it's him, although maybe it won't be. Maybe this, obviously with LeBron, it was the decision, and then it was the letter by Lee
Jenkins, right?
Lee Jenkins, right? Yeah. SI. I don't remember who broke it when he went to the Lakers. I know it was on a Sunday, but I don't remember who broke that news. But
yeah, I don't remember that at all. I don't think it was that. It wasn't a big announcement. It was obviously a big announcement, but it wasn't like a decision,
Right. It was. I think there was a sense that it was a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, and we had got the title, so it was like, okay.
Yeah.
Right. And we still wish he was going to stay, but we kind of get it.
Yeah.
Are
you finding this annoying?
No.
Neither am I. Go ahead. Tell me why you're not finding it annoying.
Because the Cavs, if LeBron doesn't come back to the Cavs are still going to be really good. And if they get LeBron, they're going to be really good. And they're going to be better, but it's not like we're waiting. And if they don't get LeBron, it's not like they're going to be an 18-win team. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're still a talented team. They were just in the Eastern Conference Finals. It didn't go the way that we would have liked. We know that. But no. And the other thing is, it's LeBron at 41, okay? It's not LeBron at 27 or 29 or even 30.
Yeah.
He's 41. He's still awesome.
Yeah.
And he still has some probably a couple, maybe even more than a couple good years left.
Yeah.
Certainly for the postseason, which is where we need him.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not that annoyed by it. Maybe part of it is I'm not obsessed with social media as much as I used to be. And I don't just endlessly scroll and just keep refreshing. I just sort of I'm on so many group chats with UCSS and with you and this show, and everyone's going to keep me up on when it happens.
That's true. You don't need to be on social media.
I don't need to be on there.
No, that's a good point. To answer the question, calm, nervous, or sick of the LeBron watch, I'm completely calm. I don't know why people are getting angry. Now, if he ultimately signs somewhere else, there'll be some anger, fair or not. I think it's unfair, but whatever. I mean, you want to get angry, get angry. That's up to you. I'm not going to tell people whether to get angry or not. You feel how you feel. But I'm completely calm, maybe because I've convinced myself that he's coming here, but I just I mentioned this last week. It's at least there's something interesting to talk about in one of the deadest times of the year. During the All-Star break, baseball just coming back, really nothing happening in the NFL, and, till training camp starts in another week, and even then, how much is really, what are you really talking about there? So I find it fascinating. I'm fascinated. I'm not nervous. I'm probably unrealistically convinced that he's coming back to Cleveland, and I'm excited about the possibility. Yeah, I think we'll all be disappointed, or most of us will. Maybe some of the really angry folks will not be disappointed. It'll give them a reason to just scream and yell about LeBron, but I don't know. optimistic and excited about the possibility of a very interesting regular season with LeBron. And so it takes him how long it takes him. And I don't know why. I just don't get why people are getting so angry about it. I know
Bull, it's not like this team is going to be changing that much. You know, if LeBron signs here, they're going to add a few more like veteran pieces, but it's not like the entire team needs to be assembled. The team is what it is. We're going to add LeBron to what we already have.
That is correct.
You know.
Yeah. Now, listen, I like the team. I like it a lot better with LeBron. I think they have a better chance to win.
For sure, they have a better chance to win. Yeah.
But yes, it's not like when he was in his prime and you're going to be terrible without him and you're going to be great with him. It's not. He's still a difference maker, which at his age is ridiculous because nobody else is. But he's not as big a difference maker as he once was. So that's why it's different here. There's no doubt about it. It's not. Yes, you're right. It's not the end of the world if that happens. Am I breaking up or something? Because I feel like I'm in my picture here. I'm seeing a little. I don't know if I'm breaking up.
I think you're good, man.
Yeah, all right. A little behind the scenes. Take you a little behind the scenes. See if I'm breaking up. But I'm glad I'm not. So. Anyway, a couple of quick reactions here. Rat hole with Bull and Fox emojis. Aiden Griswold, part of the famed Vacation Griswold family, says, "What's up, Bull? What's up, Dustin?
What's happening?"
CB Vaughn 27 screaming at the guys producing the show, Alex and Levi today. He's annoyed because you guys are putting Eastern Daylight Time. Or it's EDT, not ES. It's not Standard Time. Standard Time is now gone. Well, at least
is it official? Has that happened?
No, the Senate's got to approve it. It was approved by the Congress, and now it's got to be approved by the Senate. I don't know when that's happening. So he's saying it should be EDT or just ET, not EST. So I don't know if he's right. I do know he's right. There you go. But I don't know why he's worked up about it. Jeremy says, "Hey, what's up, Bull? Did you see the Guardians game last night?" I did, of course. We'll get to that later.
Man, home run city.
Yes. And is that a sign of things to come?
Dude, there's like dudes in the lineup now that I've never heard of.
Yeah.
That are just like hitting.
Well, I was just saying how we got to get rid of Petey Halpin, and then he had 2 home and Reese Hoskins. I was like, get rid of both of them. They both hit 2 home runs. I wouldn't hold your breath for those two guys to hit 2 home runs ever again, but maybe Hoskins. But anyway. We'll get more to it in a little bit. Aiden says LeBron will sign with the Cavs by Friday. Folks, stop getting worked up about who's leading in Kalshi. That's just how fans are betting. I mean, it's not like there's inside information there.
No, and by the way, if there is insider trading on that, like if there's a big bet placed on LeBron to go somewhere, that person will be investigated.
Yes.
Like you're an idiot if you somehow are close to LeBron or his family or a team or a GM and you place a wager or a prediction trade, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
They'll find you and they'll figure out what the hell's going on because there's nobody that's going to be putting, now listen, some people just want to bet it and people have zillions of dollars. Okay, fine. Yeah. But if it's a big bet, they're going to find out.
Oh yeah. 100%. Mm-hmm. NH Cleveland Bro Dog says, tired of the media nonstop news about it. We have training camp about to start in a couple of days. Much more interesting. I mean, what's so interesting about the start of training camp? We've conned ourselves into believing that's interesting, but I don't know that it is. We're not getting any answers the first couple of days of training camp. Maybe we are. We'll see. We'll talk about that in a minute. Phil, on the other hand, Phil's in trouble, says this has been a fun few weeks, honestly. And Jeremy says, I'm tired of talking about LeBron. If he doesn't sign with the Cavs, I'll be upset, but I'll get over it. And so will the rest of Cleveland. Some of Cleveland doesn't even want him back, which is crazy to me that you wouldn't want him back. That's just nuts. That's just nuts.
I am muted. Sorry. Well, I coughed and I muted my.
Okay. There you go. Anyway, so obviously we're gonna, hopefully we'll get the breaking news and then we could all go scream and yell and be excited. Until then, we continue to wait. All right. Speaking of waiting, training camp, Dustin, begins next week. But leading up to that training camp, Shedeur Sanders had a camp for kids I don't know the exact number of kids that was there, but there were a lot. And it didn't cost them a dime. You know, let me say this about Shedeur Sanders. I'll start with the fact that I think I've made it very clear that I'm far from convinced that he's a good enough starting quarterback. I'm not saying he can't be. I'm just not. I'm not a believer. I'm not a big believer. But I give him a chance. Certainly give him a chance, and obviously I think he should start. That being said, the hate that this guy gets, like, and I probably shouldn't even bring it up, but like Rex Ryan taking shots at him, calling him selfish because he was doing some promotional thing. First of all, would Rex Ryan not, if Rex Ryan had a famous, it was as famous as Shedeur Sanders, wouldn't he take advantage of that? He's using his name to get a job. The criticism's ridiculous. There's a lot of hate for this kid. Now, listen, folks, if you're one of his diehards, sometimes some of you can be annoying, and you go over the top, and you get mad at people who are not haters but are just giving honest opinions. But that shouldn't make people kill Shedeur Sanders. How many professional athletes, as big a star as he is, would do a camp? First of all, he just shows up sometimes and starts throwing with kids. Like, he'll just show up in the neighborhood. He does this camp, and he's charging nothing. I mean, how many players would do that? So major kudos to him. He appears to be a hell of a nice guy, and he appears to really give a crap about kids and the community. And say what you want about him in terms of maybe you don't like his style. Listen, everybody's entitled to your opinion, but this guy seems to be a really nice guy and seems to really do the right thing where it matters. And given a fair opinion on his quarterback skill is that's totally fair. You don't think he's a good quarterback? You're entitled to your opinion. I've made it clear a million times that I'm not a big believer in him. But I'm a believer in him as a human being and the way he treats people, especially kids. And I think he's done a great job.
1,000%. I mean, this guy is a really good guy. I think he's good values, good morals. I think that Dion is a high character guy. I think that, being raised around that, the way that he treats other people. Now, is he flashy? Of course he's flashy. I mean, look, his father is always flashy, but it doesn't mean you're a bad guy. It just, that's your style. That's your personality.
Yeah.
Is he a talented player? Yes, he's absolutely a talented player. Is he good enough to be a starting quarterback in this league? Time will tell.
To be determined, yes.
And here's the other thing. It's really hard to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. Like, you have to be one of the, basically one of the top 20 guys at your position in the world to be at that level. And he's close, and he's right there. And he was really talented in college. He had some moments last year where he flashed. And look, whatever. I don't care. I mean, Tim Tebow got a lot of hype and people hated it. You know, he wasn't very good as an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take away from the person who's trying to do good things and be a nice guy and be nice to young kids and like all those things. So Shedeur is an easy guy to root for me.
Yeah.
And people think that like we hate on him or something like that. It's like, dude, come on. If Shedeur plays great, I would love that. It'd be awesome.
Yeah. And I think for me personally, the Tim Tebow situation was a lesson, because I started like not hating strong, but I started being really annoyed by Tim Tebow. And I realized it wasn't him that I had a beef with. It was his fans, because they were so over the top and so annoying. And I felt like, and I realized I took it out on Tim Tebow. Now, he turned out to not be a very good player, but he is a very good person. Again, I don't know Tim Tebow personally. I don't know Shedeur Sanders personally, but they both seem like very good human beings. And however it has to, like everybody's got a different personality. Everybody's got a way they do things. Some people are flashier than others. Some people are more aggressive than others. Some people are more outgoing than others. I'm not going to judge people for that. I'm going to judge people based on their behavior, their acts, and how they, are you a good person? I don't judge people for anything, but are you good? Are you a good person as far as I know, or bad person as far as I know? If I know you personally, obviously it's a little easier to judge. But that's it. So, yeah, is he flashy? Of course he is. If you grew up with the cameras all around you and your dad was Deion Sanders, who wouldn't be flashy? Of course, but who cares?
Exactly.
Why does that bother people?
Well, you know why? It's because people are jealous.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot of it. Yeah, I think that's definitely true. So anyway, kudos to him for doing this camp and everything else he does in the community. He's a good example.
I think there's a lot of things that he does that you never hear about today.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
true.
Because I mean, the guy shows up at a high school field and will throw with high school players.
Yeah.
That's
very cool.
And sometimes it gets out there and it gets posted or whatever because of course it's pretty cool. I'd post it if I was a high school kid.
Yeah.
But he excuse me, he's not doing it for attention.
No.
He's doing it because he's a good guy.
Yeah. If he was doing it for attention, he wouldn't have treated 500 kids for free.
100%.
So cool. So good. Kudos to him. And yeah, I am looking forward to seeing training camp and seeing if he could take that job and hoping he can take that job and hoping he can win that job and hoping he plays well enough that the Browns can use their all these draft picks they have on other things. We'll see. It will be fascinating to see. I'm hoping that they can name a starting quarterback sooner rather than later. What's your prediction? Over, under? Do the not over under, but do the Browns announce their starting quarterback before or after the second preseason game? Before or after?
After.
Okay. So you think it's coming really late?
I do.
Yeah, all right.
I do.
I'm actually with you. I think it's going to – I know he would – in a perfect world, he'd love to name the starter and – whether who knows what Todd Monken is thinking. Hopefully there's nobody else that's making that decision and it's just him and there's no pressure from the front office or, ownership. But let's see. You folks jump in too. Before or after the second preseason game, will the Browns announce their starting quarterback? And who will it be? I say it's Shedeur between games 2 and 3 of the preseason. What say you there, Dustin?
I think it'll be Shedeur, and
Yeah.
I think it'll be after. I mean, after game 2. Yeah, you're probably right. I don't want to steal your thunder, but that's the right.
Yeah, it's
that's
fine.
the right timeline. I think.
All right, so between 2 and 3, NH Clee Bro Dog says after the second preseason game. Brandon says after the second preseason game. Let's see. Things might change a lot when pads go on. Adele says after. James Freeman says that sounds about right between games 2 and 3. Yeah. So, do you expect both quarterbacks to play a lot in the first preseason game because there's this competition? You wouldn't normally see, your number one quarterback, but since they don't have a number one quarterback, at least right now.
Yeah, and there's really no risk in playing either one of them, because of injury, because you're trying to find out, who these guys are, and you don't have a legitimate, Super Bowl MVP type of quarterback, on your roster. So it doesn't matter. These guys need to get reps. You need to see them play. We need to see them play because we want to see if these guys have any talent.
Yeah.
And you want to see Watson play because this could be the last time he takes a snap for the Browns or for anybody in the NFL.
You know what happens 16 days from today? I'll tell you, it does not involve the Browns, but it involves your hometown.
It's happening. Oh, well, the Hall of Fame game.
That's right. 16. That's it. I can't believe it's only 16 days away.
I just drove past it yesterday and I saw the countdown.
Yeah. Oh, does it do an hour countdown or day count?
It just said days.
Okay. Carolina, Arizona in the Hall of Fame game on Thursday, August the 6th, 16 days from now, 8 p.m. The game is going to be on NBC. The first preseason. Then after that, the Browns will play in week 1 of the preseason. This game's on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, the 13th, 14th, and 15th. The Browns play Saturday, their first preseason game, at the Bears at Soldier Field, 1 p.m. on Saturday, August the 15th. So that's, 25 days away. So a little over 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks before the Browns play their first preseason game. So it's all happening. The preseason is right around the corner. So when the Browns play the Bears on August 15th, I think I would play Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson at least minimum 3 possessions each, and then go to Dylan Gabriel. Minimum 3 possessions.
Yeah,
I want to see them play. If we're using training camp and we're using preseason to truly make this decision, then let's see them on the field. I know it's preseason, it's vanilla. The Bears were weird defense last year, and I don't know how much their starters will play week 1, but last year they forced a ton of turnovers, but they gave up a ton of yards and a ton of points. So let's see it. Get them out there, and let's see how it all comes together in that first preseason game. NH Clee says, I heard the starters might not play the second game due to the practice week with the Bills, so it might be the third game that they make the announcement. Possible. They're only practicing with the Bills once, though, which is weird. I don't know why.
Is it in Cleveland or in Buffalo?
I believe it's in Buffalo. I'm going to double-check that because preseason week 2 no, it's in Cleveland. My bad. Yeah.
And Browns, then they play the Bills in not the preseason, the regular season, right? Or is it preseason?
Well, they play the Bills in the preseason week 2. The regular season, did the Browns play the Bills? Let me bring up their schedule. I don't remember.
I think they do in Cleveland.
No, they do not play the Bills. They play the Bills in it's the preseason only. The Browns opening day game, of course, in Jacksonville, September the 13th, and they do play 2 in a row on the road at Jacksonville, at Tampa against Baker and the Buccaneers. By the way, things are not very smooth with Baker and the Buccaneers. Apparently, They're very far apart on a contract extension right now.
Well, he's going to get some money because they have no options.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think they'd look, but I don't know. You're right. Things will probably change, and eventually.
Listen, it's early. I'm sure he's asking for an astronomical amount.
Yep.
But they don't have to give it to him today.
Yeah.
They'll come to an agreement. He's going to get paid.
Yeah, I mean, he's up at the end of this year. We'll see. Baker's in that weird tier where he's kind of like on the borderline of, is he, and I felt this way about him all along, and he's continued to be this way.
If Baker Mayfield were quarterbacking this Browns team, would they be a playoff contender?
Yes.
100%.
But they wouldn't be a Super Bowl contender, in my opinion.
No. But they'd be a contender for the wild card.
Yes, I agree with that. Okay, let's talk about the Guardians. Great game last night. Guardians win 13-4, tied for the most ever home runs hit by the Guardians in Cleveland. They'd hit one more in a game in Milwaukee. But the bats came alive in a big-time way. It started early against a really good pitcher, too. And Joe Ryan, they just crushed him. 6 home runs in 4 innings off Joe Ryan. I don't know if he was tipping his pitches. I don't know what the hell happened.
What do you make of this, Bull? Is this like just random? Was it the weather? Was it the guy tipping pitches?
There has to be something to me because Joe Ryan's too good a pitcher, and the Guardians are not a home run hitting team. Especially because, Petey Halpin had not hit any home runs, and he hits 2. And Rhys Hoskins had been playing terribly, and he hit 2. Now, Rocchio, he hit the home run. Bailey, who's been okay with the Guardians. Obviously, Bazzana's been very good. And he hit the home run. But I don't know. I didn't see anything specific with Joe Ryan, but that's weird. I mean, that guy, how many? Let me see something here. Joe Ryan, going into last night, had allowed... How many home runs had he allowed? All right, I got to look it up because I just can't believe he gave up 6 home runs in 4 innings. Like, that's unheard of, especially for a good pitcher. Joe Ryan this season, before last night's game, had given up 10 home runs, Dustin, in 110 innings.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's nuts. 10 home runs in 110 innings before last night, and last night he gives up 6 and 4. So I don't know what to make of it. Unfortunately, I'm not buying into this as a sign of things to come. I hope I'm wrong, but especially with Petey Halpin and Rhys Hoskins. Now, maybe, listen, I was a big fan of the Hoskins signing. He's been very blah. He's not been terrible, but he's kind of been blah, just okay. Maybe this gets him going. Maybe he can get hot. With Petey Halpin, I think that was one of these freaky things where someday we'll look back and Petey Halpin will be a guy who played 10 minutes for the Guardians and he hit 2 home runs, and you'll be like, yeah, he hit them both in the same day. It was crazy. But for a night at least, against the team that they need to kick the Twins' ass. Like, there's no excuse for the Twins to be as close to the Guardians as they are. I want to see the Guardians take at least 3 out of 4, if not sweep the series. You got Messick going tonight. Obviously, he's been fantastic so far this season. The game starts in a little over 4 hours at 6:40 Eastern. Kendry Rojas will pitch for the Twins. He hasn't pitched much. He's pitched 19 innings, 2 starts, 6 relief appearances. And he's given up less than a run per inning, but he's given up a ton of base runs. He's only given up 15 hits in 19 innings, which isn't bad, but 16 walks in 19 innings is terrible. So the Guardians need to be patient here. His last appearance, he pitched an inning against the Cubs 3 days ago and didn't walk anybody. But the 2 appearances before that, including one against the Guardians and one against the Dodgers, he walked 6 in 4 innings and gave up 4 runs. So the Guardians got 5 base runners, including a home run against him when they faced him 12 days ago, and now he's going to start. He hasn't pitched more than 4 innings in any game this year, so the Guardians have a major advantage. Parker Messick, who's one of the Rookie of the Year candidates, against the kid who's barely pitched and hasn't gone more than 4 innings. So major advantage, especially because the Twins had to use a lot of their bullpen yesterday. I expect the Guardians to have a good game again today. All the rain seems to be out of the way. There's only a slight chance of rain in the forecast the rest of the day, so Guardians should be in good shape. I like the Guardians tonight. I know they're probably a big favorite. Guys, how big a favorite are the Guardians tonight?
150, I saw.
That's it? 143 we got it at. I'm a little surprised by that. I'll take the Guardians in the over tonight, although my picks lately haven't been good. You know, you're hot and cold. It happens. But I like the Guardians in the over.
Did you like the Guardians last night?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
But it's easy for me to say that now. I didn't tell anybody that. But I expected the Guardians to win this series, so I obviously had expected them to win 3 of 4. And this is definitely one of the 3 I expect them to get. And then we'll see about the last 2 games. But take care of business here. 2-2 since the break. And, you know, it's good to see them score 13 runs. Tanner Bybee last night pitched a good game. He gave up 2 in the first, and then he shut him down. 7 base runners, 2 runs, 5 Ks in 6 innings. That's 2 good starts in a row. His last start before the break and his first start after the break. He's gone 12 2/3. He's given up just 16 base runners and 3 earned runs, no homers, and 8 strikeouts. So, you know, he's pitching pretty well. All right, thanks, everybody, for joining us today. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Dustin and I'll be back on Thursday at 2 p.m. So that'll be happening. There's a show as part of the Bet Rivers Network called the New York Sports Rush, and I'll be, if you have any interest, and I haven't done this in probably 7-8 years. When I was at the Fan, every once in a while I'd go into New York and fill in on the radio station there, so I'd talk New York sports every once in a while. I haven't done it in probably 7 years. But I'm filling in on the Ultimate Sports Rush this Thursday. I'll be talking with Mark Feinsand. We'll talk about the Mets and the Yankees. So if anybody out there is interested in that, that'll be good. I'll probably mention the Guardians with him, too, just because Mark can talk about all things in terms of baseball trades. Finally, James sends us a message. Bull and D Fox, thanks for always representing CLE. Living in California now, but a Buckeye for life. Thank you, James.
Go Bucks.
There you go. Are you
Buckeyes.
excited about college football? It's right around the corner.
I am getting very excited about college football. In fact, I have my
your first game?
my MAC Media Day kickoff show tomorrow from Ford Field in Detroit. So I'm actually going to end this podcast, get in my car, and drive to Motown.
When do you find out your first game? Like 2 weeks before?
Yeah, mid-August.
I mean, is there any? No. I was going to say the Buckeyes' first game is not even on national TV. It's on the Big Ten Network because they're playing Ball State.
Yeah, I mean they're playing Ball State.
Yeah, and then at Texas the second week. That's going to be.
Dude, that game is going to be bananas.
Oh my God, are there rankings out yet or no?
There are some rankings out.
Like Ohio State and Texas are both going to be in the top 5, right?
Yeah.
Or is that not sure? Not so.
No, for sure.
Oh, okay,
for sure.
And then Kent State week 3, Illinois week 4, and it's all conference games after that. The Michigan game is at home this year.
Yeah.
Buckeyes road games they got a tough road schedule at Texas, at Iowa, at Indiana, at USC, at Nebraska. I mean, Indiana, it's funny. I see Indiana for a second. I'm like, Indiana. But, like, Indiana's not Indiana anymore.
No, they're good now. And now, because Cignetti has won a natty.
Yeah.
And they have so much money, they're gonna be good for, like, as long as he's there.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
They're going to be a powerhouse now.
They've reached a level now. They're not going. Not anytime soon. All right, great stuff. Thanks to Levi and Alex for producing today. Thanks to all of you for watching and listening. We'll talk to you on Thursday. Where else? But right here in the bullpen with the Bull and Fox. All new time, 2 p.m. Now go see our buddies, Jonathan and Nick now. Spend the rest of the time with them. We'll talk to you later.